All right, guys. Hey, how you guys doing today? Welcome to Media Talk Pod, where we talk all games, all things gaming, movies, TV, and more. I'm Ryan. That's Michael, or I
Hello.
guess you can do young and old if you want.
Games, new and old.
That too.
That too.
So the first topic, I have no evidence other than me and my brother for this. So this is very, very. This isn't proven. I can't prove any of this because I don't know how to do research on it. But certain types of games explain your personality.
Oh, okay.
And what I mean by that is, so me and my brother play sports games,
Yeah.
but we do it so differently to the point where I'm like, okay, because so he'll play like the player role,
hmm
and he gets bored with all like the management stuff. I love the management stuff, and I get bored with all the player roles because you're only doing one thing.
Yeah.
So so in my head, I'm like, all right, so I've got like this business-minded personality where I'm like, all right, I want to be in control
Yeah.
to a point, and he's just kind of like, let's just follow the leaders and see
Yeah.
what
Follow the
happens.
pack. Yeah. So, if certain games, so if certain games describe your personality, what game would you say is like the peak of you may as well be a psychopath?
That's a good question.
Because if
Horror games? It's
I guess Dead by Daylight when you always play the hunter or something.
Actually, let's get some background music because
There we go. Fill the silence.
what ended up. So I ended up mixing our stuff for like the audio section because, and the first episode was really annoying to mix. By the way,
Was it?
yes,
I would
like the
imagine.
audio was bad.
How bad was it?
There was only audio like from one edge.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
I had to balance it out, and then I had to compress it quite a bit because my mic's extremely loud. So I'm trying to balance that out.
Hi. Our new dog decided to open the door. Hi, Dad. Alright. Give me a moment here.
You're good. Alright. Well, thank you for joining us, guys. I do appreciate it. I had to take a little bit of a break, but that's fine. It happens. Let me know if you like our background music. It just made this beat, like, literally, not even joking. Trying to find a good volume to where it's just background music, though, is incredibly difficult. So let me know in the comments below if you like the background music or the volume. Right now it's at 16, so, yeah. That's going on. So, again, if you guys are liking our content, comment, like, subscribe down below. We're also now on Apple Podcasts. I can't talk today, I swear. And then we're also on Spotify as well. That is the audio version only, so I'm trying to figure this out. We'll get there, I promise. But, I mean, seriously, guys, if you watch this on YouTube, I genuinely appreciate it. So, all I need you guys to do on YouTube is to comment, like, and subscribe if you're willing to. And again, this is all free, right? So it's not like I'm asking you for money. Just, help us grow our channel, especially if you like our content. Would be incredibly appreciative. We're doing as much as we can. Takes about a week to produce each episode, so I'm hoping it'll be up by. So this episode will probably be up by next Sunday, Saturday, something like that. Again, it takes us a week to do it. We both have 9 to 5s that we have to do. And then I got other things that I'm doing. He's got other things he's doing. So yeah, we're pretty busy. That's also why we haven't been here for the past 2 weeks. But hey, things happen, so.
Alright. Sorry about that.
You're good.
That my family just woke up and all of a sudden he's all happy wanting to run in here. Alright, so what was the topic at hand again?
Certain types of games explain your personality.
Yes. That is very interesting, but I want to see how well it really. I'd like to see that in like an actual test to see how far they can actually go.
See, so would I, but I don't know how to do one. So
Yeah. Well, like in my case, like when I was like 8 years old, we played, my brother and I, on a PlayStation 3, Diablo, or not Diablo, it was Army of Two, Devil's Cartel or something like that.
yep, I played that too.
And I got the weirdest enjoyment out of using a shotgun. Because you could just completely maim any person in any vicinity. So, yeah. And anyway, yeah, I really want to see how that really owns up to different people in different games.
Yeah, so do I. Unfortunately, I don't have time to do a test like that because we'd have to interview
A lot of
people who actually like gaming.
Yeah.
So there's one thing, which is very hard to find.
Somehow I'm noticing a lot of people really like video games, but it's like on a very high decline right now.
A little bit, and I don't know. Although to be fair, that's probably because of the political climate.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because I know Baldur's so with Baldur's Gate and Starfield. Don't know why Starfield's included in this, but you've got Xbox fanboys saying that Sony fanboys are mad at Starfield, and I'm just like, okay, stop.
Yeah.
Can we stop with all this like one console or the other drama?
Yeah.
'Cause-
Yeah. That ended a long time ago.
Right?
But
And then-
it's still going to go on just because there's so many keen differences between the two still.
True.
But no, I think like the economy is one thing to say, like with people not gaming as much, but I also think, because like when we saw the rise of Fortnite a few years back, I think I was like in 6th grade when it really got big. You saw a lot of the microtransactions, with the battle passes and all that.
Yup.
And then all of a sudden, Call of Duty 4, Black Ops 4 dropped a few years later, implemented that same system. There's a bunch of games that are using it. Diablo's using it. I know Call of Duty's been using it. Destiny started it a few years back.
Yep. They're still going too.
Yeah, well, all of them are still going with it. The last Diablo still has different seasons out.
Although I heard Diablo's first season didn't go so well with the fans.
Well, of course it's not going to go well because you just paid for this huge game. Why are you going to pay for another,
I mean, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, but
Although to be fair with me, I don't like top-down RPGs. They just drive me nuts.
Really?
Yes.
I
Baldur's Gate 3 is literally that, like, I don't know if you ever played Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah.
That's literally what it is in a video game form.
Yeah.
The combat is exactly like that, and I'm just like, alright, I can't. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, I'm not interested in it. And then just that, like, top-down camera freaks the crap out of me.
Yeah. I don't know, I've always enjoyed playing it. I used to play with my dad and his friend when I was around 7 or 8. But no, it does get annoying sometimes because you can't really see all that's going around.
Alright, well, so it's a good segue because the second one, they're remaking Oblivion.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that. What's going on with that?
I don't know. They're paying another studio to remake Oblivion while they're working on Starfield and Skyrim right now.
Okay.
At least that's Bethesda's plan.
Okay.
Don't know why. I don't know why. Do you know anyone who's actually asked for this remake? Because
like I've played a little bit of Oblivion. It's not bad for what they had, but why are you gonna remake of Oblivion and not just like advance the hell out of Skyrim, which has already won thousands of awards?
Well, to be fair, Skyrim 6 they're working on it, but that's
Well, yeah,
still.
they're working on Skyrim 6, but the original, Skyrim. It's.
Didn't Oblivion start that one?
I think Pretty
Because
sure.
this one's Skyrim Oblivion, right? At least that's what everyone's calling it, unless I'm wrong.
Because I know Skyrim is a part of Elder Scrolls.
So guys, in the comments, let me know down below. I'm not really sure, so...
I'm gonna see if I can find the timeline.
I'm not like a huge Bethesda fan. Like, I'll play them because they're kind of fun, but then their stories are kind of lax, so it's just not really interesting to me.
So... So I think Elder Scrolls may as well just be... It was a start?
Wasn't Elder Scrolls is Skyrim the base game?
Yeah, Elder Scrolls was Skyrim before... Yeah, because I had the disc right here. It says the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim.
Yeah, and then so they also had Skyrim Oblivion, which is the game before the actual Skyrim game came out, which is the one they're trying to remake because apparently, and this is just from people, Oblivion's probably one of the most popular games that Bethesda has made besides Fallout and Skyrim in general.
Okay, and soon to be Starfield.
Yeah, maybe. Like, it looks good, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're doing a bad job with it. But again, it's a Bethesda game.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
you probably won't beat it anyway.
I have so many different copies of Skyrim. I have not beat one of them.
It's a Bethesda game. I don't expect people to beat it.
No. Really quick, it says right here that it's Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, which came out in 2006. And then they had Skyrim, which was they passed the torch on to that.
Okay.
So, again, it's Bethesda, so it remains to be seen how good it actually is, but...
Well, it's probably good. Again,
Yeah.
they make sandboxes to have fun in. That's what they're...
Yeah.
You don't go there for the story.
No. It's already hard to follow as is. But
Is it?
it can be. It definitely can
So I know
be.
they dropped a video to kind of explain it a little bit.
Yeah, explain it a little bit, meaning they still don't know what's going on themselves. Because I just looked at the timeline for Elder Scrolls, and it said that it includes contradictions and nothing really lines up. So
Okay, to be fair, if you look at Harry Potter, her book is filled with contradictions, so it's not like it's...
yeah, that's
There are plot holes in every single book you're gonna find
Yep.
because people don't ask detailed questions.
Sadly. But
That's normal.
yeah.
Now, I did hear developers, while they're playing Starfield, like there's one that has 80 hours of Starfield played, and he hasn't even started the campaign yet.
What? Wait, what?
He hasn't even touched the campaign, and he's already played 80 hours of Starfield while they're developing. So
does that
there's
mean-
so much in this game to the point where you don't really have to play the campaign or the story to get enjoyment out of it.
Okay.
That's
I
kind of where I'm coming from, where it's like you don't have to beat a Bethesda game.
Yeah.
That's not why they make the games. They make them for you to just go have fun, do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, kind of on that, because I've seen a little bit of the trailers for it. It looks like a really good game, especially because the graphics of it and being able to go to these different planets and all that.
Yeah,
like
the
No
graphics
Man's
look
Sky.
okay.
But I think, yeah, it's basically just going to be huge. It's basically going to be like a detailed No Man's Sky with a side story if you really want it.
Yeah. I don't know. No Man's Sky seems to be a little jealous right now.
Do they really?
A little bit.
Well, of course, Bethesda took their idea. It's like, yeah, we're going to go run with it.
And to be fair, I mean, No Man's Sky had a bad launch.
Did they really?
Yes, like they had a shitty launch.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started patching everything, and then everyone's like, oh, okay, so this is a pretty good game.
Yep. And then finally, didn't they just have the thing with it was a few years ago, but they implemented like the derelict ships.
Yes.
But then for some reason people complain that they're too scary. It's a derelict
It's an
ship.
exploration game. It's not
It's
like
a derelict ship with nothing in it. How is that scary?
because you don't know what's in it.
But there's like what?
Remember, the fear of the unknown is what people think fear is. So it's like
That's true. That's very true.
and that's what I think they're playing on, which I think is really stupid, though.
What was that?
Like having people being scared of a derelict ship.
Yeah, that is very strange. It's like there's nothing to be scared of. It's dead.
Like, why not call it just an abandoned ship? Or
That's
abandoned
valid.
wreckage. That's what Mass Effect did. They didn't, like, go...
Yeah. Because I think the word derelict isn't really used very... It's not thrown around all too much.
No, it's not. And I think this is... English in America is not...
I don't even want to get started on that one. We're going to be here for years.
Alright, so let's go on the next one, though. Because PS5 literally just got confirmed. I'm not even joking.
What do you mean? The new version?
Yes. So
Okay.
there were 2 pictures got leaked of the brand new code name. I don't even remember the code name of it.
Okay.
They haven't officially named it yet, as far as I know, but it did get leaked
Okay.
to have a removable disk drive,
Whoa, what?
which I don't know how that's gonna work, because
So the reason why a lot of people go to console is because they're not tech savvy enough to put together the computer or maintain the computers.
well, so here's the issue: everything's going digital.
Yeah.
So Sony's like, all right, why not? Let's give them the option to either like have a disk drive or not have a disk drive. So
You're still
apparently
paying
it's
for it.
removable.
But you're still paying for it either way.
Yeah, essentially.
So, I mean, if you're still paying for it, you're going to have it anyway. Then what's the point of having it? If you're not going to use
People
it,
don't. Unless you go to GameStop or buy off eBay or Amazon, no one really buys discs anymore. Unless you're a collector. That's.
I got a stack of fruit right here. Granted, they're all PS4.
Oh, and by the way, you're gonna have to get a PS5 soon, so.
I kind of heard a little bit that they were saying that the PS4 servers are going to be shut down.
Yes, so eventually, more than likely by the end of this year, they're just gonna stop making PS4s.
Okay.
Because they're having a new PS5 drop 2024.
Which is really close to having... they're close together.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, the bright side, they're all readily available. Like, even if you go to Sony, they've got them, like, ready to ship.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just the price tag on it.
Actually, they have deals coming up, or they had deals 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
So they were like $450 for a little bit, and then this is actually gets into our next topic. I don't know when this is coming or if it's already here,
Okay.
but there's PS5 bundles with 2 controllers now.
With 2 controllers. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. They're going to make this new PS4, right? You're going to have 2 controller bundles. So now you're paying for a controller you probably don't need, and a disc drive that you don't want. Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's for digital or disc version.
Well, yeah. Well, I think the 2 controller bundle's good, but at the same time, you're already buying the system. You're going to buy a controller at some point, no matter what.
Well, yeah, but why not? Like, yeah, their controllers are expensive.
PlayStation controllers have always been expensive unless you're buying an off-brand.
Well, no, but now they're like $75. Although, to be fair, well, there's a reason for that, though. It is a DualSense controller. It's not like this is they're very advanced to the point where they've already exceeded Xbox's controllers.
Well, yeah, it has like the haptic feedback and all that. Like, if you press the trigger and stuff, it'll have a different strength against
Like,
it.
you can barely press the trigger. You have to literally press it. It will literally push back.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's supposed to do.
I haven't used. My dad has PS5, but I haven't actually tried it yet. My dad and my brother have, but it's, from what I understand, it's pretty out there.
and it vibrates all the time.
See, now that gets annoying with play. That's like my biggest turnoff from PlayStation. Like, I like to game in silence. Like, my mouse is quiet, my keyboard's quiet. So, I mean, having something that's like buzzing off the radar for no reason.
Well, you can change the. I know you can change the like intensity of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you can turn it off too. I'm not sure though, because they, like, PlayStation's been dropping updates like crazy.
Yeah, because I know they just recently did an update with PS4 where it didn't work for about a week, or at least a couple days.
I'm not surprised.
Because my brother went to log on, it's like, yeah, you need an update, but then you get an error code, and it won't work. And they had to put out another update to terminate the other one to fix it. Because, you know, that's what
Yeah,
PlayStation
that sounds about right.
wants to do.
It's Sony. It's. Is that why people think they're evil though?
Well, Sony, I think, they have their foot in too many doors, and they don't really want to pick what direction they're going in, I think.
Well, I think the other reason is their CEOs are like two opposite sides of the coin.
Okay.
Because Jim Ryan's that, like, I'm an actual CEO, I'm about profit and the bottom line. He doesn't really play video games.
Yeah.
His goal is to make money. Phil
Yeah.
Spencer, on the other hand, plays video games with his kids.
Okay.
He loves them, he enjoys them, he likes making them, he likes running Xbox.
Yeah.
So you get like two different sides of the coin where it's like, okay, he's a business guy, so he's going to talk business, he's going to market business-wise.
So really quick, are these both the CEOs for Sony or Sony and Xbox?
So Phil Spencer's works on CEO for Microsoft.
Okay.
Or Xbox, and then Jim Ryan's been Sony's CEO for quite a long time now.
Okay.
So,
well, I know, like, during the whole political war that was going on with PlayStation, or, you know, back in 2020, PlayStation decided to put their foot in the door a little bit on their Play Store. And, there was... Somebody had put up on the creator portion where you could change your themes and stuff. It was during one of the revolutions that were going on out in Asia or something like that.
mm-hmm.
PlayStation took it down and in place of it put BLM. So you can't have this protest, but you can have this one.
Well, to be fair, Microsoft does the same thing. It's not like...
Yeah, that's true.
They both do it.
It doesn't make sense to me on either point of the spectrum. It's like, okay, if you're going to put your foot in the door, put your foot in the door fully. Or just back out of it. You know, there's no
Well, to
point.
be fair, they are from Japan, though. It's not like it's...
Yeah. So, of course, they're not going to sit there
Like, their
and-
base company is literally in Japan.
Yeah, so of course they're not going to broadcast their own social issues going on there.
They have to be a lot more careful than we do.
Well, yeah, you know, they don't have an amendment that says freedom of speech.
Exactly.
Freedom to
So
say
they need
what
to
we
be
tell you
very
to say.
careful.
Yeah. So, I think again, put your foot in the door if you want to put your foot in the door, but don't beat around the bush. I mean, yeah, you have to be careful what you say, what your investors are going to think, but come on, you know.
You know, I don't hear much about their investors.
I don't either, but
Sony's very, very quiet.
well, of course they're quiet. They don't have much to really boast about.
That's not true. They do make money.
But yeah, everybody, all these companies make money. Hell, somehow Nintendo's still making money with, you know, $75 game that's a sequel. So,
Do their games cost that much now?
I think Tears of the Kingdom.
60, right? Please don't tell me. Like, if you're so if they're trying to charge $70 for a Switch game, it's not gonna work.
It's not. Of course, it's not going to work. No, it's $70, $69.99.
Why?
Yep,
That's so stupid.
it is really stupid.
Your hardware is nowhere near that level.
But they
Like
have
hell,
bundles.
these days people I rarely buy newly released games just because the fact that $70 is extremely steep.
Oh yeah. I used to
Like,
think
I get
$60
it.
was think.
I mean, I get it, because making games is expensive, I know.
Oh yeah, of course, especially with all the hardware and stuff that needs to go into it now to reach the standards.
Because, I mean, Horizon New Dawn, I think, cost Sony $150 million just to make it. And it took them like 5 to 6 years to get it all.
Wow. And then
Yeah.
you barely heard about that game after it dropped. I hardly knew it did drop.
It didn't do very well.
And wow. That
Like,
must-
at all. I don't know, the Horizon series in general, the story's good, the RPG mechanics are fantastic, but for some odd reason, just the game itself does not run very well,
Okay.
and they have a lot of frame rate drops.
Okay.
And some people actually just crash the game entirely,
Mhm.
so they're having issues with it.
That's what really seems to be more common now. That everybody's trying to push how the game can function and look, but not really accounting for what it's going to be played on. Because the PlayStation, I'm noticing, has a lot of crashing issues that I never really saw maybe 3 years ago, 3 years ago. Even that's a stretch because when they switched Minecraft over to Bedrock on PlayStation, that crashed constantly. So I think these companies really have to kind of put it back into perspective that their hardware can only go so far and the populace can only afford so much. In a way.
Yeah, but I think I think gamers are the other issue,
Yeah.
because I know developers want time to develop their games.
Oh yeah.
But time means anywhere from 5 to 8 years to develop one game.
Yep.
So for impatient gamers that are like, we want games every single year to come out and I want them to be flawless and perfect, it's like, that's not going to happen.
No, I mean look at what happened with Cyberpunk. They were working on that for ages.
And they still spent another, year and a half?
yeah,
And
year
does
a
it
half
drop
just-
for another month?
Yeah, year and a half
Like-
just patching and trying to fix the base game, and now they're doing a DLC that everybody wants now.
And then they're dropping patch 2. I think patch 2 becomes before. I don't know when. They didn't give a release date for any of
Yeah.
it.
So I mean, there's all that, and then even just kind of looking at even just like the Mirage thing, all of a sudden they barely announced the game, then it's coming out at a set time, and now it's releasing a week early.
Mhm.
I mean, how good? I mean, this game is actually below what most of the marketing price is right now. So $70 being now the base, I think it's only like 60. So it's
Yeah, I'm
almost
not
like
surprised.
Ubisoft. It's almost like Ubisoft knows this ain't gonna do well. Because why are you gonna? It just seems like it was just like boom, game. It's coming out. Game release date, different release date. That's sooner.
Yeah, but Ubisoft has a different issue than most other people.
Mm-hmm.
Is because they have the original Assassin's Creed, which is super popular.
Yeah.
Then they switched into RPG mode, which is also kind of popular.
Yeah.
And so now they're kind of like, all right, how do we impress RPG people and then the OG Assassin's Creed fans at the same time?
Yeah. Well, I think the original Assassin's Creed pulled so many people towards it just because the way it was done, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the way that the execution of how they switched it into the RPG, I think could have been a little smoother in some ways.
Actually, I think they did really well with that.
Really?
Yeah, because Origins was their first attempt at RPGs, and I think so. Origins was fantastic.
Origins was pretty good, and then Odyssey was pretty good, but it was,
Odyssey was amazing.
yeah. I still haven't finished it. I can't finish any games for the life of me. That's just my issue. I think I beat 2 Lego games in my life, and that's the furthest I've gone.
Well, to be fair, I went through this phase of, I need to beat this game, and then you get satisfaction, and then it just goes away.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, I just paid $60 for a game that I played for what, 25 hours, and then I don't touch it again.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Is just,
That's why I like those games where you can keep going back to different situations, like The Witcher, Cyberpunk, or stuff like that, because there's no real way to get bored with it, because there's so many different little intricate ways that they do it. So, I think I think that's might be why Bethesda does so many sandbox type games, because I think people won't get bored with it as quick as, okay, hop in, follow this story, and, get what little satisfaction you get out of it.
Hmm.
So,
Well, I mean, even with Cyberpunk, like the side quests and stories were better than the main kind of like the main like Cyberpunk knows that they know how to write a story,
yeah.
which is why I'm wondering why Hollywood's not like contacting Cyberpunk writers and going, "Hey, will you help us
I
out?"
want to know it, because CDPR with The Witcher and then with Cyberpunk have become my favorite development company, just because they do it so well. Especially like, just before we started recording, we watched the Phantom Liberty trailers, and just the way they're making it to where all these random things are happening, and you can join in on it or not, and like the way that they're reworking the police and all that, it's something I don't even think GTA. Like I think GTA could easily mimic it or something, but. A lot of these. What I'm meaning is like a lot of these other games have tried to do it, but haven't done it as well.
No, GTA has a police system. They've had one for years.
Yeah, they've had the whole police system, but what I'm meaning is, like, I almost think like Cyberpunk's almost topping the line of it in a way. But I could very well be wrong with
They're
that.
probably going a little. Well, so to be fair for Cyberpunk, this is the last thing they're doing for like the game period in the story.
Really?
So you get patch 2, which they're like redesigning the entire game to what they originally wanted it to be.
Okay.
Then they're dropping the DLC to add some extra story to it and a better ending supposedly.
Okay.
And then they already confirmed Cyberpunk 2.
Yeah, and they're also trying to do The Witcher 4.
Yes.
So,
And then they have a new IP that they're working on that they haven't shown anyone yet.
Okay.
So
That could be pretty good. I do kind of want to know how Cyberpunk 2 is going to go down. Like, are you in a different part of the new United States, or?
don't know. They're focusing on patch 2 and then the DLC right now.
Yeah.
And then to be fair, I don't think we're gonna get anything for another year or two.
Yeah.
Like even a trailer at this point for Cyberpunk 2, unless they're farther in development than I think they are. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean it'd be cool to get a Cyberpunk 2, but I really want to know what's really gonna.
You'll have to play the DLC.
Yeah, but I still have to beat the base game and do all that. And
Well, that doesn't take that long.
you're saying that to the guy who, the last time I played
It's
The
like,
Witcher,
so if you just focus on all the main quests, it's like 20 hours.
okay, that's not terrible.
Like it's the shortest, like literally, it's one of the shortest games I've ever played for an
Okay.
RPG game.
Okay.
Like unless, and you can make it longer if you like do all like the side quests first,
Yeah,
and then get your character leveled up.
yeah.
But
Well, I
even
mean,
then, I think the max is like 60, 70 hours at max is how long this game is.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of my issue, because like just last night I was playing The Witcher, right? And I'm one of those side quest junkies, I just realized, where I'll do all the side quests for one specific line just to get it done with, because I know I won't come back to it. And so that's what kind of takes up all my time. So I spent like an hour and a half just like running around doing the quest for like the Kira Metz quest
Oh, yeah.
with that
that's
Tower
just-
of the Mice and all that.
Yep.
So ended up completely chopping her head off. Anyway, didn't think it was gonna go that far, but yeah.
You killed her? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I was like, okay, okay, I'm gonna choose this voice line. This sounds cool. And then all of a sudden, she
I mean,
was
most
bad.
people end up sleeping with her, and then you just
Well,
kind
yeah,
of
that
see her
happened
for the
first,
next.
and then like the very next part is like completely annihilated. So, I mean, yeah, it was the Witcher. The Witcher's a weird game at times.
Well, I mean, it's a weird world.
Yeah, that too.
It was made that way for a specific reason.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, side quests, they can be a lot of fun, but it can also be very time consuming with it. But
Now, what I do want, now what I'm hoping they do for Cyberpunk 2 is add more romance options, because they didn't really, and like, because I was thinking about this. All right, they're trying to do stuff for straight and gay people.
yeah,
So they're like, all right, how do we balance that? And I'm like, dude, seriously, it's not that hard to do.
yeah.
Judy's your gay option. Her Evelyn is your straight option.
What was it again?
So there's two characters named Judy and Evelyn. You've probably already met them, I'm assuming, or at least you've heard of them. I don't know how far you're in the game you are, but
Like, based on where I am in the game, I'm like right. I just got Jackie's bike after the funeral, so I'm still like pretty fresh in the game.
no, you've already met them because you meet them.
I think I know which.
Because you have to meet them before you talk to Dexter. Because Evelyn will offer you a.
Yep, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So because I was thinking about, all right, so romance options in this entire thing. If you're a straight guy, Pan Am is your only option. That's all you get.
Yeah.
She's a great option.
Yeah.
Fantastic story, but if that's all you have, then like.
Yeah. Come on. Well, I think another thing too is these games are trying to mimic real life so much that people are. Well, I shouldn't say mimic real life, but they're trying to get as close to a real virtual world as they can.
Which is fine.
Oh yeah, it's fine, but I think people, just like in real life, are always going to find something they're not happy with about it. You know? Well, they don't have a triangle or sexual character. You know?
Well, to be fair, if you just focus on your fan base who actually plays your game.
Yeah, that's true too, but, you know, a lot of these games like to try to go to the masses and say, hey, look, we have all this great content that our fan base doesn't like, so we're going to give it to you. Or, like what Destiny did. Yeah, so our fan base sucks already, so we stand with gay people. Here's all these emblems. You know? I mean, that's literally what they did. They're like, yeah, so gay people are oppressed. Here's a bunch of emblems to help. Our fan base sucks.
I don't know what to
I mean, there's nothing really to say about it. It's just like these companies want to try to go towards whatever they think is going to make them money, and sadly, they always choose the wrong. Or I shouldn't say always, but they 9 times out of 10 are going to choose the wrong choice.
Well, I mean, Disney's already
Yeah, look at Disney as
a
a prime
beacon
example.
for that.
Yeah, look at Disney as a prime example. They used to be the epitome of, you know, the magic aspect, the entertainment, the fun. You know, finally something the whole family can watch and not be completely mad that the other person's watching football and the other person wants to watch some weird 2006 Barbie animation. So, you know, they're finally, you know, the hype for, you know, the whole family, and then they started driving all the different little. They started sticking all the different pegs in the board, you know, politics, and then all that dumb stuff, and then they just completely destroyed it.
Well, I think another part that I'm noticing about game companies is they do a lot of female characters.
Yep.
Especially in trailers. And I'm just like, alright, I'm not against the female heroine type,
Yeah.
but what happened? What's the problem with like a male?
Dude, I can tell you the problem right here. Because they think a strong woman is going to get them more sales. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's been shoved so far down everyone's throats, they're over it. You know, I mean, like, since we're talking about Disney and all that, you know, with Star Wars, they had Luke had the 3-movie arc, right? Where he learned the Force and then finally was able to defeat Vader and Palpatine. And then all of a sudden Rey steps in. And he's like, I can do everything just because I can breathe. You know?
So that's a writing issue. That's not a.
Well, yeah, it's a big writing issue, but it's Also,
So, this entire issue is Kathleen Kennedy and her henchman. I don't remember her name because she's also gone too. But this one, which, by the way, Kathleen Kennedy has been ousted. I'm not kidding. Her house is on sale.
really,
She is moving. Like, I'm not even.
yeah, moving where to?
I
third
don't
world
know.
Country so you can't be found.
I have no clue, but as far as I know, they're done.
Good, good.
Like, Iger is trying to do whatever he can to get this company back on top.
Well, yeah, I mean, just the same as Disney, Star Wars was a big name. It was huge.
Not
It's
anymore.
Well, not
It's
anymore.
not a.
I
It's
mean,
not a big name.
No, I mean, just think like like 2010, 2013. I remember me and my friends would talk about Star Wars, the Star Wars games, the Lego stuff. It was still really big 30, 40 years after, after it went huge
True.
in theaters. So, I mean, it was something that everybody was obsessed with through the years, and they kept it going with, the prequels and the animated show that they had, the Clone Wars. So, I think, it's good that he's wanting to try to get it back, but I think he has to do it the right way. Because
so as far as I know, no Star Wars projects are allowed.
Yep.
Right now, well, I mean, to be fair, everyone's on strike anyway, so it's not like they can do anything.
Yeah.
But, like, Star Wars in general, I think there's... so if you go on YouTube and look up, like, Cameron Pasham and Overlord DVD, those two are the sources that I go to for, like, Kathleen Kennedy stuff, because they have sources in Hollywood that are getting all these stories.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
based on what they're saying right now, there are 5 Disney, so the board of executives, there's like 5 horsemen, so to speak, that are in charge. Nothing gets greenlit unless one of these 5 greenlights it, period, in the story.
Okay.
You go above their head, you are fired, you're gone, get out.
Okay. So, there's a whole nother issue, because now you have 5 people who are either on completely opposing ideologies or all on the same one.
No, they're all businessmen. They want to make money. They don't care about propaganda. They want to make money.
But yeah, what I'm getting at is it's always the same kind of stuff slipped into the movies.
Yeah, true, but that's also because of their employees.
Yeah. I mean, look at Twitter. that whole thing still makes me laugh. I'm gonna use Twitter to complain about Twitter, even though I'm employed by Twitter. Okay, blue-haired weirdo.
I mean, it's X though, but which, by the way, we actually have a Twitter account, so
look at us go. We're moving up in the world. I've never had so many social media accounts. I'm kind of worried.
Neither have I. To be fair, I didn't really want a TikTok, but then I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it can be an easy way to.
Well, blowing up on TikTok is easy.
Is it really?
Anyone can. Yes. We already have like 3 followers on TikTok. Our videos got like I can only do clips though.
Yeah.
And some of the clips they won't even let me upload if they're past 2 gigabytes. So I'm just kind of like, alright, I'll do whatever I can. But one of them has like 748 plays.
Wow.
As I said, TikTok's very, very easy to blow up on. Which is why I'm taking this with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Well, that's still crazy to me though, because like I put like a YouTube short up like 4 months ago that maybe has like 25 views.
It's harder to grow on YouTube.
It's always been harder to grow on YouTube. It's been like that for years.
It's because it's a good platform.
Well, it was, and then, well, like I missed the YouTube that was like 2014, 2015-ish. Right before, the pumpkin got elected, and then everybody got unhappy, and we had to censor everything. So,
I mean, to be fair, Google does the same thing. They've been doing it for.
Yep. You know, I think in all of this, what we really have to do is shut down the overlords at Google. I'm probably going to say as my computer shuts off, and my phone's going to turn on or something, because that's Google Pixel. But we, hack out the overlords in Google, and then we bring it back down to Earth.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Google's got money.
Yeah. So does the government. Look where that put us. Actually, the government doesn't have
Well,
money.
so to be fair, so this is the issue with the government. None of them are business-minded.
Popularity contest.
Google, on the other hand, they do have business people there. It's not like they're not like completely incompetent and stupid enough to drown their own company.
Mm-hmm. They've gotten close.
Not really.
At least with YouTube.
I mean, they own YouTube technically, so.
Yeah. Have they always owned YouTube, or did they buy it out?
I think they bought it out.
Okay. So I remember.
Don't know why they bought it out, but.
It was a growing platform that they could make money on. Which is.
I guess. I mean.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're not really making money because they're needing to pay it out to all the people there.
No, they're still making money. Google's always gonna make money. It doesn't matter. They have a freaking search engine that everyone uses.
Yep.
So advertisers are gonna want to use it.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got millions of businesses giving Google a shit ton of money, so they can get onto their website and get customers.
Yep. So, I mean, we'll see where it all goes, but I think until if anybody's wanting to redo, like, even Oblivion or the Star Wars franchise, they do it right, and they try to fix it instead of erase what happened. I think something could go along with it, but
I think Bethesda will be fine. I don't think
Bethesda will definitely be fine. But,
they're not stupid.
No, but Star Wars could probably dig itself another 6-foot grave.
I mean, Ubisoft is making a Star Wars game. It doesn't look that bad.
They're making a Star Wars game now too?
Yeah.
Which one's this?
I don't remember the name of it, unfortunately, because they've only showed a little bit of it.
Okay.
I swear I showed you a trailer, but I don't remember. But yeah, so they're making a Star Wars game because EA has done really, really bad. I mean, I kind of have done really, really bad.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. How do you like Star Wars games from EA? Have you played any of them?
Have I played any Star Wars games from EA?
Like specifically the last two. So Jedi Survivor and then their other prequel to that.
I've seen how they play. I haven't played it myself. I'm only one person. I haven't played it myself. I actually haven't played many. The only Star Wars EA games I've played were Battlefront 2.
The original or the new ones?
The new ones, the remakes.
Okay. You mean the crappy ones?
Yeah, 'cause that's all I had. The other ones were far before my time.
Well, the other ones are amazing.
Are they really?
Yes, they're because there's an actual campaign to it.
Okay.
And then there's like a Galactic Star map where you can literally take one faction or whatever faction you want and just take over the entire galaxy.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like
It's super fun. Like it's a super fun game.
Mm-hmm.
The issue with the updated Battlefront is they took all that out and just did multiplayer, which pissed people off.
Oh yeah.
Because that's not what they wanted. That's not what they expected. So Battlefront 2, they're like, oh, okay, we hear you. So they give you a short little campaign story, and then they go back into their little multiplayer.
Yep. Well, that's the thing with EA, though. They're always going to be... They push out so many games that I don't think they really care about it. Because, like, Titanfall 2 was hacked 3 years ago? 3 years ago?
Why?
I don't know. It was like June 2021 or something like that. They got.
So I heard Titanfall 2 is actually one of their really good games.
It was a really good game. The multiplayer is good. The campaign's great, but they got hacked into, and you can't do the multiplayer. The multiplayer was really fun. I don't know if they fixed it or not. They may have.
I doubt it.
Yeah, me too.
It's too old for them to even try to focus on it.
Because I know there was some things kind of leaked about maybe a Titanfall 3. Which could be good, but, you know.
Assuming they're making it. Because
Well,
they've also
it's
canceled several games.
Yeah. So...
But hey guys, let us know in the comments below what your opinions are, because I would actually like to hear them, honestly.
So there might actually be a trailer for it. I'm gonna look on YouTube.
There might be. Although as of right now, I think EA is splitting their... They have a new... I don't know, they have two divisions now.
Do they?
So they have their like sports division, which is solely focused on sports games, and they have their other division, which is going to focus on every other game that they're going to make.
Okay.
Which didn't help Madden at all, so I don't know why they're even...
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, I'm a Madden fan, but like... The speed at which the menus move is just unbearable.
Okay.
Like, it is bad.
Yeah.
And then I'm noticing frame rate drops like crazy, and then I'm just like, alright, really? You're on next gen hardware. What the hell's going on?
Well, again, they're pushing out games like crazy, so I don't think they're putting that much.
It's a sport. Yeah, but it's a sports game though. You can't really.
You think you couldn't mess it up, but they somehow did.
No, you can mess up a sports game. It's really easy. The issue with sports games though is you don't have a long development time because it's yearly. There's not like. There's a small window that they have to make this game before the next NFL season starts.
Yeah.
And that's all they get. So.
Yeah, no, that's very true. But, you know, EA is working on all that because they do WWE. They do.
No, so Take-Two owns.
Is
wrestling.
that Take-Two?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So they do Madden, they do FIFA, and then MLB.
Hockey.
Yep.
So I think they have football, baseball, hockey, and then they have FIFA.
Yeah.
Is what they're licensed to do.
So they're already working on all those yearly. And then you throw in things like Apex, Titanfalls, we have all their different...
Well, and I think this is why they're doing two divisions now, because having one company focused on, like, the many genres that they work on is causing them issues.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, I don't really think they care about quality issues anymore, but...
Well, evidently not, considering their servers can get hacked and they won't touch them, but... yeah, you know, it's... Who knows?
But, I mean, that's a good segue into the next topic, because Rockstar just bought something.
Ooh, who did they buy?
They bought Red M.
Red M.
So you know the modding community I was talking about that made like the whole Grand Theft Auto Online thing?
Yeah.
Do you know the video I showed you?
Mm-hmm.
So Rockstar and that community have been like going at it back and forth for years.
Okay.
Because like Rockstar tried to sue them, it didn't work.
Mm-hmm. Well,
They tried to ban them from servers, that didn't work.
Yeah.
They blew up. Rockstar was like trending downwards, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rockstar was like, all right, fine. You know what? We're just gonna buy you.
Mm-hmm.
And so what everyone's speculating is GTA 6, which comes out next year, by the way.
Okay.
Is they're going to allow Red M to mod GTA 6 and make their own like online role-playing thing.
Okay.
So I'm assuming Rockstar at this point has given up on fighting them. Is like, you know what? Let's join forces.
Well, isn't that what they say? You can't beat them, join them.
Yes.
So that's kind of, if I look at that's kind of what they did. I mean, it could work out, but like everything else, it remains to be seen. So you're saying that they could do like their own online community or something like that?
Well, so for like GTA 6, they'll have
Yeah.
that. I'm assuming they're gonna let Red M do their own little thing
Hmm.
and have this gigantic role-playing community. Now I don't know how they're gonna monetize it
Yeah.
because it's free, so it's not like.
How would they monetize it? That's microtransactions, better guns, better connections.
Well, they do that
maybe?
already.
They do that already? I've never
Yeah,
played
they
GTA.
have GTA Online.
Oh, I've never played GTA, so
Well, neither. I mean, I play it because it's a GTA game,
yeah,
and you know
Well,
what to expect.
yeah. Well, like I got one of them, and then I was like, you know what? I want to buy this other game, so then I refunded it. And which I kind of regret, because I got like a huge bundle deal of like 3 different games or something like that. Like dirt
Well, I
cheap.
mean, GTA 5 is always on sale.
Is it really?
Yes, like consistently on sale.
I'm not.
Because they even remastered it for the next gen.
Okay. Okay.
Like GTA 5 is like super popular
Mm-hmm.
because of their character switching system.
What do you mean?
So you in GTA 5 you play as 3 main characters,
Okay.
and you can switch between each and every character as much times as you want, and you'll like literally go to the next location on the map.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not always together. They live in 3 separate different areas, and they're always doing separate things.
Yeah.
So if you switch from one character to another, you're gonna hop right into the whatever that character is doing. You are now doing it.
Okay.
Whether it be starting a bar fight or driving around somewhere or taking a piss randomly. Yes.
Okay. So you just like just randomly just hop in at whatever random moment, or
Yeah, pretty much.
okay. Yeah, like I never knew that, because like I said, I've never played GTA. That's not a lie. I played like whichever one was on the PS2.
I want to say San Andreas, but I
That's
don't
what I
know.
think it was. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was San Andreas. But it's like I'm not really well versed in that at all. I should be, because that's for some reason one of the biggest games. But you know.
That still makes money, which is insane.
Yeah, considering what, it's now to the point where the people who are playing this game, you know, covering up the M when they're putting on the GameStop counter to their parents, they now have their own kids that are like doing the same thing to them.
Not really. I don't think most parents really care at this point.
Well, no, they let their... I'm not even gonna get into that, because like YouTube shut
Like
this
by
whole
the time,
podcast
like I mean,
down.
even if your parents are like not wanting you to cuss until you're 18,
Mhm.
you're in a public school. You're going to cuss anyway. You're like parents know you're gonna learn this stuff anyway. It's not like it's
That is me.
hiding
100%.
kids in a bubble just doesn't work.
No, because at some point the kids are gonna retaliate, or
That too.
like what I've seen when I was in the online school.
Mhm.
It was overly common, the depression, anxiety stuff, to where they're like, yeah, you know what, we're going to start this new club called Sources. I'm not going to say the names, but it was like some place you can go to try to be happy and like empower yourself. How the hell are you going to do this if your parents like eyeballing your computer the whole time? Like so many of these kids are like, yeah, like I'm sneaking being on here right now. Like so many of them are like cutting themselves and doing dumb stuff like that.
Well, that's a whole different topic. So this is the thing. From a Christian's perspective, I actually have answers for all this
Well, yeah, but
that
the
I'm not
thing
going
is,
to talk about because
Yeah.
that'll get us banned and flagged so much.
This whole thing would be a bust. No, it's honestly crazy to me, because these parents are sticking their kids in like such small bubbles now that like there's a story about this kid. I forget her name, but she was in a Mormon family or something like that, like a small town or something like that.
Mhm.
But she escaped it by, you know, running away and trying not to get caught because everybody knew everyone. Something like that. It was a Lifetime movie.
Oh, okay. So
which of course it gets.
I wouldn't
embellished
take
quite a
too
bit.
much stock into that.
Yeah. But it just kind of showed like we're told now to not judge other people's parenting styles. That was never a big thing to judge other people's parenting styles, but at the same time, it wasn't as idolized to keep your kids in a bubble. Yeah, the world's going to crap in a handbasket. It's going to hell in a handbasket. We know it. But what is this kid going to do when they turn 18? They have to move out. You know, again, this is a whole thing I can talk forever about, because especially since I just worked
like
at
I'm
the
so
water
connected.
park.
So, and this is when I talk about. So this is where I have an issue with like college and high school now.
Mm-hmm.
High school, like in my opinion, high school is completely pointless because they don't teach you anything.
Why do you think I'm here?
It's like you have to learn geography and then algebra, and I'm like, okay, I don't care about that
Exactly.
because
But
in the real world, it's
Yeah.
about taxes, how to get a job, how to write a resume, how to do
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z.
like what you have
Like-
a one semester class of personal finance and maybe an economics class.
Yep.
You don't. This again. This is another one of those things. I think you and I both could like get into it, and this whole podcast would be this whole thing would be just completely flagged because
Not
you don't
really.
learn-
I mean, that's
like
no.
what-
I mean, I think this is a good topic that people have talked about because it is
Oh,
a
yeah.
thing. It's not
Yeah.
like it's not.
Well, like for example, like the biggest example here, Tom McDonald references it in one of his songs. You know, we learn that the Constitution's a thing. We learn that we have amendments, we have rights. But it's up to you on your own personal time to go in and figure it out. You get, again, maybe a semester class on how the political situation works. And outside of that, you're just kind of left with nothing, you know. And
Well, I mean, you have to be interested in learning though.
Well, yeah, you have to be. Well, I think.
And I
yeah.
think that's the other issue with high school is they force you to learn stuff that you don't want to learn,
So at the point of like.
and then they get surprised that oh, you're failing this class.
Yeah.
Why are you failing? It's because I don't give a shit about it.
Exactly.
I'm not interested in learning this.
Exactly. So it's like I think the only thing you should really be forced to learn is how to do your own finances, how to pay taxes, because you're going to be doing that anyway.
Yep.
All the rest of it you don't have to worry about.
Right.
Okay, 2 plus 2 equals 4. Okay, I know basic math. That's all I need.
Well,
maybe a
maybe
little bit
McDonald's will teach you that.
Yeah, that too. That too. But it just amazes me because there's these people that go through high school, get their diploma and everything, and they're like, yeah, I don't know how to count change. I can't get a job.
To be
that
honest
does
with you,
cash
neither
in.
do I. And to be fair, like McDonald's doesn't even want you to do that
Yeah.
because more times than not, you're gonna be wrong,
Hmm.
and the computer will not be wrong.
Well, yeah, like I always follow the computer. That's what I always did. But that was just because it was simpler. Because I can't do that kind of math really quick. I never have been.
Mhm.
But again, that's it, well, even that you don't even have to worry about anymore. Because again, like you said, the computers. Everybody uses credit cards, debit cards, low flimsy piece of plastic that sits in your wallet all day. And now you don't even need that. You can just use your phone. So
Yeah,
at this
kind of. I've had some
yeah.
people have problems with that.
Yeah, but the point being though is that at some point, a physical type of currency isn't going to be needed anymore.
Well, they're going digital. It's,
Yeah. Which also
I'm not
is
surprised.
dumb. Which is also dumb because guess what happens when the computer shut down? When your phone dies.
I was
You're
actually
screwed.
thinking about this. It's like, all right, let's just say everything goes to shit.
Mhm.
We get hit with an EMP. No electronics.
Yeah. What
How are
you
we
gonna do?
supposed to survive? None of us know how to plant food. None of us know how to hunt. None of us know how to shoot guns.
People
Half
in
of it,
New
none
York
of
are
us
gonna
know
be
how to
s-
fight.
The upper class in New York is going to be screwed.
We're all
That
going to
in
be screwed.
California.
No one knows how to survive.
No. No, we
So what
are-
happens when you're required to survive and you don't know anything?
Guess what they're going to do? All these people are like, yeah, I'm vegan, and I'm this, and I'm that, and, you know, I have all these different opinions just because they're different opinions, and I'm right and you're wrong. They're all going to finally go and sit there and say, yeah, so, we messed up, and we need your help, even though we screwed you over tenfold and put you in this position. So, you know, it's sadly going, it in some degree inevitable, but it's going to hurt.
Uh-huh.
I mean, especially just going out to the computers. I mean, it says in the Bible, you know, one world currency, somewhere around
Well,
there.
they'll get there eventually.
Yeah, eventually, but it's the fact that it's happening, which is also kind of scary, but, you know, it'll help.
It's supposed to happen, though. It's not like
Yeah.
it's...
Nothing we can do about it. It's fun.
But anyway, so let's go into
It's
topic 6. Because do you watch anime?
I love how we switched from God to anime.
Yes, we're
It's
gonna
like
go
that
ahead.
straight downgrade.
No, but I'm actually kind of curious because, like, anime is like that. So, like, I'll bring this up to my parents, and they're like, "Cartoons are for kids, X, Y, and Z," and I'm like, "Yeah,
Yep.
have you watched anime? This kids should not be watching this.
This is not for kids. Yeah, I've watched anime. I'm a casual anime enjoyer.
So the reason why I kind of brought this up is the storytelling of the anime
Okay.
is always on point.
Yeah.
Like, I've never had an anime where I watched where I haven't actually cried because, oh my god, this is a really good story.
So I haven't had that issue. Where I started bawling my eyes out. That's also because I, for some reason, do not possess the full human ability to do so. I found that out the hard way. But like certain animes, like my favorite, English. Wow, it's not my first English. Okay, yeah. My personal favorite anime was the first season of Tokyo Ghoul.
Okay.
I say the first season because season 2 and then the RE, the anime version of it sucks. If you can spend the money on it, it's ungodly expensive. The mangas are really good. I saved up enough money. I had the first box set. I think it's 12 books, maybe. But it's the story of it's really cool how it all goes through. But I also think it's because a lot of it's not as business driven.
That's not true.
Well, like what I'm meaning is like a lot of these people like the person who did the My Hero Academia, Kohi Hirokoshi, and Sui Ishida, who did Tokyo Ghoul. These are lifelong projects that they started either in high school, right out of high school and college. These are things they've been working on all their lives, and it's something that they have a lot of passion for and a lot of drive for. So of course it's going to be well crafted. I mean, you look at Berserk, that went on right until the guy died. So, and that started like what, in the 90s?
I don't know. That one's really, really old.
Yeah. Google search real quick.
I don't know, because like I grew up on Dragon Ball Z, and then I started watching, and then Naruto became super popular. I kind of ignored it, and then after a while, they're like, "Okay, you need to watch Naruto because it's really good." I was like, "All right, you know what? I'll watch it."
Yeah.
I ended up being incredibly into it to the point where I actually watched their other thing. So they went from Naruto to Naruto Shippuden,
Yeah.
and now they're doing the next generation, which is Naruto versus Boruto,
Yeah.
which is also really, really good.
Is it really? Is it actually good?
It's fantastic. Like, the entire story arc is just amazing. Now, the other issue is it's very, very long.
Is it?
Because, like, I think Naruto itself is like 150 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Which I understand, because it's hard to tell a story when you have to condense it down to like 30 episode segments.
yeah.
But if they give you enough time to tell a full story out, it's gonna end up being better.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they're like a lot of animes are really, really long. Because even Dragon Ball Z has like 150 episodes to it.
Dragon Ball Z's been going on since my dad was in school.
Well, yeah, I know, and they're actually doing. So they just dropped the Dragon Ball Super movie, and then they're gonna do another season of Dragon Ball Super after that. Because Dragon Ball Super was also really, really good.
Yeah. Well, like I've watched a little bit of Dragon Ball and I enjoyed it. It's very daunting when you decide, yeah, I'm gonna watch Naruto. Well, like you said, that's 150, 200 episodes per segment.
Yeah, but the thing about and again, the anime thing, the fact that they're really, really long, you don't tend to care.
Yeah.
Because you're so into the characters and the stories and just like everything they're trying to do. Because they make someone a villain and then they give you that villain's backstory and you're like, oh, I feel bad for this guy now.
Yep.
So now I don't know who to root for, this guy or that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like, again, that's just like the proficiency that comes with that genre, I think, because even like kind of going back to the My Hero Academia. The main character, I'm not going to talk about it too much because I still don't know the full thing. But like the main character wanted to be a hero really bad, got, the best hero's power, and then eventually trying to save everyone. I think he like drives himself mad or something like that. I know I'm not completely on the ball with this, but eventually he turns into the villain. So I think in a lot of ways it's, again, there's these people just put so much time and effort into it because they want it to be well crafted, because it's what's driving them in life. So, but
they also they don't do anything political either.
No, they really don't. Like not even Edge Runners.
No, because that's an anime.
Yeah, but it was on Netflix, so you kind of expect it, but it didn't have anything, which I was kind of shocked about.
Well, to be honest with you, the story's still by Cyberpunk, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They still wrote the story. It's not like they're gonna let Netflix write something, because...
You could go in the dirt real fast.
Right?
So, like, you said your favorite anime was Dragon Ball, or Naruto? Well, like, what's your all-time favorite?
I don't even know. I've been... Because, like... So this is the issue I have with anime, is I can't pick one. Because when I pick one, I fall in love with it. And then they're like, oh, you should watch this, so I'll watch that. And then I'm like, oh, this is really good too. Then this is really good. And then I'm enjoying that. And then I'm just like deep into anime to the point where I'm like, there's just too much to watch. Like, I can't even pick it at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the issue I have. Because, like, I got started with anime with Attack on Titan. And it took them, like, 4 years to put out the second season. So at that point, I had already kind of fallen out of it. I've watched... this is like video games. I've never finished an anime. Never finished.
They're hard to finish.
They are. I have finished some of the shorter ones, like Death Note or the Eevee Florence Ice Song, which is, I think, it's a 2021 anime? Spring anime or something like that. That one was pretty good from what I've gotten into it. I don't know, like you said, it's just they do it so well, and then there's so many people doing it well. It's hard to
pick.
Yeah. Because even like I just watched the pilot episode a few months ago for the Project Zomboid. Just that first episode's crazy, the way they do it. It's also kind of ironic too. So it's just crazy how they format it and put it into this, wholesome story that everybody can kind of relate to in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it wholesome.
Well, yeah, not wholesome, but what I mean is
because there's a lot of in certain content in anime. There's a lot of like the women in general
Yep.
are usually scantily clothed.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
So
I mean, you see the same thing in Western fantasy, though. Medieval fantasy, or
I don't know.
like
People complain about Western. Like I know some Western people complain about like Japanese anime because they're like, women don't look like that, or X, Y, and Z, or you're sexualizing women. And it's just like they're.
what happened?
What is that?
What does that have to do with anything? Have you not played like any of played or watched like Conan? Conan being like the prime example. Seriously, with Schwarzenegger, there's like, it's literally just like, yeah, sun's out, shirts off, everyone.
Right.
Like no one's, like everyone's included in that. It was like the epitome of gender equality in that movie.
Well, and I remember there's a guy who did a video. So I don't know if you know who Anita Sarkeesian is.
No. I was gonna
Anyway.
say it sounds familiar, but I'm gonna be
So
like, the
she
biggest
was hired
details.
as a game advisor for multiple studios,
Okay.
which I don't understand because she's a feminist.
Mm-hmm. It's because
So-
she's a feminist.
Which is a really bad move. But so she started complaining about Arkham games that Catwoman was too sexualized.
That's the whole premise of Catwoman.
And you're like, you're sexualizing Catwoman. I was like, she's supposed to look that attractive. That's her character.
Like, that's literally like, that's why Catwoman is such a popular character, though. I mean, even
And
in
then
the
some
animated
dude
TV
did,
shows.
and then I don't know. Have you played the Batman Arkham series?
I played a little bit of them.
And also like the DLC costumes. I know there's like a Batman Beyond costume.
Mm-hmm.
And some guy did a video. It was like you can literally see this guy's abs and his ass, and she's not complaining.
Well, yeah, because she's a feminist. Again,
So it's okay to sexualize men, but it's not okay to sexualize women. Like,
Again, this is a whole nother topic we can dive into, and this is like this will turn into a Rumble-only podcast. Oh, jeez, no, it's
which is why I like anime, because they don't
exactly.
care. They just want to write a good story.
Exactly. I think, like I really like anime, but I don't necessarily. I'm not 100% on board with the community because they are a different breed of people. Because it's either you're all in or you're all out. You know, there's like no middle ground. It's either balls to the wall or you're just going along with it.
Yeah, but like to defend them though, there's a lot of anime to watch.
Yeah.
To the point where you could literally just watch anime your entire life and not worry about anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, the length of each TV series is anywhere from 150 episodes, sometimes 200, depending on the series,
Yeah.
and that's for one season.
Yeah.
So when you have a 3-season series, that's 150 for the first, 150 for the second, 150 for the third season.
Mm-hmm. No, it's honestly crazy because just people get so hooked on it.
Well, because they also talk about hard topics that people tend to avoid.
Yeah, I think that's another thing too. Is just anime is somehow very relatable.
Because like Naruto did that like off the bat.
Yeah.
Because the main character lost both of his parents.
Mm-hmm.
They sealed the demons inside of his body to keep it shut.
Mm-hmm.
So he's being judged by all the kids. No one wants to be his friend.
Yeah.
So he's being this little annoyance to piss people off just to get attention.
Mm-hmm.
He's struggling in school.
Yeah. I mean, that's a basic thing with kids, though, too, is like, if they're not getting attention. This is another thing, like, I get this. Damn, this is just one of those days. No, it's. That's why we have. I think why we have so many of these people that have all these different pronoun things. just because it's like, okay, I'm not getting attention from anyone, so I'm now going to do the most outlandish BS just to try to get attention.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like people just give up.
Yeah, that too. But
Because what I've noticed in like dating specifically, so when a woman can't like hold down a guy and she's like struggling, she's like, you know what? I'm just gonna date girls. I don't even care. Like,
Yeah.
there's that point where you just kind of give up and go, you know what? This isn't working. Let's try something else.
yeah, it's just like,
And that's the other
boom,
issue that pops up.
pronouns, blue hair, and everything else. It's, well, I mean, like, you see it in little kids. I mean, it's a very basic thing. If you don't give kids attention, they're going to act out. You know, if you don't, kids are going to act out, try to get attention any way they can. So, I think it's something that, I don't even know where to go with it. It's just, you see it in little kids. They don't get what they want, they don't get the attention they want, they act out.
Yep.
For some reason, full-blown adults are doing the same thing.
So I can blame that on a lot of things, but I think TikTok's really to blame on the, especially with attention span.
Oh yeah.
Because like so some guy did some research on TikTok about TikTok in the U.S. versus TikTok in Japan. So TikTok in Japan is showing science, math, writing, English. They're doing
What?
anything educational they can get to help their kids succeed.
Well, yeah, that's also because it's more, it's controlled, but... It's
Well, that too. But
yeah.
in here, they push junk.
Yep.
They're pushing sexualization on kids, on X, Y, and Z. They're pushing random dance moves that have no interest. Like,
Yeah. That's what kills me, like, you brought up the sexualization on kids. That annoys the hell out of me. Because, like, just working at the water park, right? You see so many 10, 11, 12-year-old girls, skimpiest freaking bathing suits. And I'm not saying this as, like, it's just, it's concerning. You know, because anybody walking around could easily think this kid's older. It's the same, you know, like just yesterday, me, my brother, and my mom were at the gas station. And this kid looked to be about 8 or 9, this little boy, comes walking from the gym, like shorts up to like high as could be. Huge freaking iPhone. Like you're walking in like he owns the place. It's just like,
yeah.
why are we letting this happen? You know, it's...
Again, that's another so that's a big topic.
Like I said, that's a whole thing that we can get into and just get this thing completely flagged, because it's just, it's not okay. Because these parents are letting their kids walk around.
You know the ironic part is some people actually blame video games for all this,
Yeah, I know.
which
Somehow-
is weird,
Which, the only thing you can really blame for it is the phones.
right?
In all reality, because the phones, guess what? We now had a place to show off how this looks, how that looks, and all of a sudden people follow trends. Trends start, people follow them. Everybody starts doing it. It starts getting to the younger generations. They start doing it, making it their own. That trend starts. Until we're in this ever-circling loop of BS, which we're in now. With these, all of a sudden, trends only last a week when they used to last years. You know? And these kids are... they're not kids anymore. Somehow. They're... you know, they're walking around in almost nothing. Like they own the place with all this entitlement. And... now, of course, I don't have much room to talk, considering I'm not even, you know, over 18 yet. But it just amazes
Even on that topic, once you even if you hit 21,
Uh-huh.
you're not an adult.
I know.
So, and I didn't really kind of realize this till I hit 30. You don't turn into adult till you hit 30. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah. So I feel like that's when you should. I mean, that's kind of like the stigma now. It's like by 30, you should have everything figured out and you should be on your way.
No, by 30, you turn into an actual adult.
Okay.
And then you can start going into the adult life.
Yeah. But it's just, it amazes me. It's like I had an urge, I've had an urge to grow up fast. I always have. But not to the point where, you know, like even out here in the schools, you hear about it all the time. You know, 13-year-olds going into the bathrooms and doing God knows what.
Well, yeah, but that's been happening for years.
Yeah, that's been happening for years, but it's, I don't know, I feel like it's either it's just being talked about more now, or it's like...
I just, like, you can't police everything, though, and I think that's one of the other issues.
But, I mean, they always say issues start at the home, right? They've said that for years. And all of a sudden, we have all these issues outside where it's, okay, we have kids walking around... looking and acting like they are, and then we have people who don't like it, then we have people who sadly do things about it, and then we have other people who are going to sit there and do the evilest things with it or because of it. You know, have you watched the movie Sound of Freedom?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Probably won't watch it. I'm just not really. But
it's a hefty movie. It is.
I figured. This is why it was being blocked.
Yeah.
Like heavily blocked.
Yeah. Because it shows what Hollywood does. I mean, literally at the end of the movie, they call out politicians. They're like, "Yeah, this is because we're calling out like the congressmen and BS."
Well, I mean, I think Chapek even got charged.
Really?
For sexual trafficking?
Yeah. It's more common than not, sadly, but it's...
And, like, even if you look at... So, I mean, actresses and actors talking about growing up as a child star, they're like, it's difficult to do, and it's not something they advise doing.
Yeah.
Because Disney breaks a lot of rules when it comes to their child actors. Because I know there's actors that are working 12 hours a day, which, based on child labor laws, is technically not allowed.
They can hardly work 6. They can work 6.
Yeah, but Disney, but I mean, sometimes most actors work around anywhere between 12 and 16 hours per shoot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just normal. Especially, like, as an adult, I get that.
Yeah.
But when you have a child who has to go to school, because like they're required, and then you're forcing that child to work anywhere from 12 to 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
That's just, what are you doing?
Exactly. It's like there's you're literally ruining them from the start. But no, I really wish it was different with that.
It won't be. I mean, it might, technically, because depending on how long the strike goes on.
Yeah.
Because they're eventually going to get fired.
Yeah. I'm looking at our talking points here, so I do have to get going soon. We have Sons of the Forest Early Access.
So, have you played The Forest?
I played The Forest, I played Sons of the Forest.
Okay, so you played both?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
what do you think?
I think they're great, personally, especially, like, the way they're done, like, the story in it is definitely good. I haven't played through either of them completely yet, because my friends always like to run off and do their own thing and just leave me gather wood or something.
Well, they just updated it, though.
Did they really?
They have a new ending.
I haven't even played the original ending.
Most people haven't, but I think there's a new boss ending now.
Okay.
And then apparently recently, they just updated Phasmophobia.
Okay.
Don't know what that's about though.
Yeah. So I mean,
So that's interesting.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Sons of the Forest, I think, was really good. Um, so, again, it's just kind of the way they do it, as with all games. It's, you know, they put the story into it. They gave it a little sandbox thing. But they really executed it well.
But is it the survival aspect or like the horror story aspect?
I like both. Cause I'm a horror junkie. I love the horror stuff. I really don't think it's that scary. It's a survival game. It just gives you different stuff than, you know, a wild bear. So I think definitely with it, it's more of this. I like it more because of the survival aspect, but they made it easier than Ark, but it's also not Minecraft. You know,
Isn't Ark multiplayer though?
Ark's they're all multiplayer.
Well, I know, but I think Sons of the Forest you can do single player. With
You can-
Ark, I don't think you have an option. I think you have to play on one of their servers in order to play it.
I'm not entirely sure.
Because I know there's Ark, and then there are a bunch of games where they let you play as dinosaurs.
Yeah, because like the one I played is Ark Survival Evolved, and I think I can play that with single player.
Okay, maybe I'm confusing because they also have a game called Titan coming out,
Okay.
where it's MMORPG for it's like a dinosaur survival game.
Yeah.
So you start as like a baby dinosaur, and then you kind of have to try to survive.
Sounds like some scaly BS.
Actually, it's very popular, which is really weird.
What, the
Yes,
scaly
it's very,
part?
very popular. Just like the whole game, that genre in general is actually really popular.
Oh yeah.
And then they're developing one for like regular animals now.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got one for where you're in Africa and you can be like a little lion cub and grow up and. It's a very small niche. It's not like a huge.
See, now we already have an issue with furries. Somehow I sense it getting a whole lot worse. If, you know, Comic-Con and all that wasn't already filled with them.
So I can blame anime partially.
Yeah, I blame anime a big... I big time blame anime for that.
So it's not all US's fault. I'm not gonna
No.
like.
No, it's definitely anime. It's definitely TikTok. It's definitely... It's rough. It's really rough. There's no escape. Well, that reminds me of the one thing, with the Transformers thing, where Optimus Prime is sitting there saying, you know, yeah, it's all the Autobots still out there, you know, we're still fighting, or something like that.
Mhm.
Somebody put the caption over that. It says, all straight guys in 2023. That's all I can think of so far this year. It's just like, yep, that's true. Yeah.
Well, like I mean, so and alright, guys. Well, thanks for watching. We do appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Again, I'm trying to get my words to match because I'm used to the video format, and now I have to think about, okay, wait, if they can't watch it, they need to listen.
Yeah. Thank you guys, because I have to think of not actually having a camera.
Yeah, that's what I'm struggling with too. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm used to like, all right, YouTube, they're watching it, but now we have Spotify, Apple, and now I'm like, okay, how do I do this
Yeah.
for people who listen?
Yep. This is fun. Learning curves.
But anyway, guys, but seriously, if you guys are listening on Spotify or Apple, rate us, please,
Yes.
rate us.
Give us reviews, please. We need the
5-star
support.
rating, please, because we really need it. And downloads will help too, by the way.
Oh yeah, downloads definitely help.
I mean, we have 9 so far, so like it's not
Woo!
bad, but.
So yeah, download and share, and if you have somebody who agrees with Catwoman should not be sexualized, send it to them so we can offend them.
Well, I mean, Halle Berry probably doesn't agree with that because I blew her up. So
Not anymore. And who agrees that we should show more of the Joker? Because for some reason, nobody.
Yeah. I mean, Joker's not a bad character.
Joker's a great character. He has the best story.
Oh, that reminds me of a movie I watched.
Next week on Media Talk Podcast.
Probably a good idea. Alright, guys, we'll see you guys next episode. See ya.